In our first segment, we're going to be joined by cybersecurity expert Alain Ghiai. He's going to be talking to us about privacy issues, data breaches, and how we can protect ourselves. Think of it this way. How many of us have had our emails, our social media, our LinkedIn boxes just blowing up with people wanting to connect with us? And then when they finally connect with us, they have this great deal for us. They want us to partner with them to grow our podcast, to grow our social media empire, all these things. How do you feel about that? Well, I posed these questions and more to our very special guest. And I'm so happy to have with me right now my great friend, cybersecurity expert, Alain Ghiai. Alain, how are you, my friend?
Great, Paul, and I hope our viewers are doing well as well, going through this COVID-19, and hopefully we're going to start to see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you and your family are staying well, my friend,
Thank you.
up in Canada. And Alain, I really wanted to have you on to talk about just the cybersecurity threats that are out there now during COVID-19, because let's be real. People who are thieves, people who are just bad people, they take advantages of situations like this to really try to affect us. So what's some of the things out there that we should really be aware of?
Well, as you mentioned, there's a lot of people trying to take advantage of this situation. Whenever you have a crisis, there's always people trying to exploit the weak links and the cracks in the system. And the biggest crack in the system now has been people working from home without any proper infrastructure, security, internet secure connections, and so forth. Because when we're at work, there's a few things. First of all, we use company-related tools, maybe some intranet of some sort, even though that doesn't guarantee 100% protection. But we do mostly work-related items. When we're at home, we have a habit of going on our social media more. We're not supervised by anyone. And that opens up a whole can of worms, not to mention that your basic cable connection is unsecure at home. Your Wi-Fi is unsecure. So there is an exponential damage that's being done. And I should mention that financially speaking, cybersecurity is costing the world. I think there's a study made that in 2021, it will cost the global economy $6 trillion a year in financial damages and loss of revenues. Now, you've seen a lot of numbers thrown out now. This is a bit of a global exception, but imagine every year cyber attacks cost 6 to 7 trillion a year to the global economy, and we don't really realize it. It's a virus of a different sort. It doesn't attack your health, but it does attack your infrastructure, your financial well-being as well. And not to mention, it steals all your information from medical records and personal records. So it does inflict a different type of damage. It may not inflict a health damage to you, but there's other damages associated with it. And now these sort of attacks are proliferating throughout the net.
That is so true. And you know what, Alain, one thing I'm noticing too, especially like on LinkedIn now, getting a lot of messages from ones who are claiming to be the social media experts, want to grow your social media for you, want to do all these things for you, things, people who I've never met before coming out of the woodwork now. Is that something that we should be aware of too, that people are using this opportunity to try to connect with people who they know are working at home now and trying to attack them and leaving them vulnerable?
Yes, so you have legitimate people that are trying to make a business out of it, and you have also malicious actors from people trying to improve your social media to just connecting. LinkedIn has had that for the longest time. Essentially, any kind of platform, whether it's LinkedIn or other, you will now see a much bigger audience in there, because obviously, if anything, this COVID has taught the world that we are moving now to the next phase. This has been a catalyst for the cloud industry, a good catalyst in some ways, but a negative catalyst in a way that now people are going to change their behavior and do much more things online. And therefore, you're being approached by people that you never met, that you cannot vet, and you have to be very wary of anyone asking you anything, whether it's like a social media service or any other service at all. And these social media platforms, whether it's business related like LinkedIn or other social media platforms, you should really double check and vet whoever contacts you.
And Alana, I'm so glad that I have friends like yourselves who are a cybersecurity expert and other friends that I have. I was approached via my email for my own webpage about doing some advertisement and everything on my YouTube channel. And so I sent the link over to an expert that I know. I said, check this out. Let me know if it's malicious or not. In 3 seconds, he knew it was malicious.
Yeah.
I have the resource of you, Alain, and some other people out there. But ones who don't have the resource, just let them know how important it is that we have to use our power of reason to know if it's too good to be true, it really is.
That's true. And if technology cannot help you, you have to use the best technology in the world, which is our brain. We have the best machine in the world to think and to reason and to use common sense and to do critical thinking. We have the best machine in the world, and we have to use it now. We have to start to use our own capacity and not rely so much on just blind openness and open source and open platforms. For some of us who have technology that can sniff out these malicious links, that's one thing. Most people, I would say, use your common sense, think about it, and if you're not sure about it, maybe contact your ISP, or maybe some of you guys may have like an internet provider. Some small businesses may have a managed service provider that handles their antivirus and basic internet. For the individuals, it's always very hard, and this is why this is costing $6 to $7 trillion a year. We've had, for example, the biggest video platform out there, which we're not going to name. It's been in the news so many times, and so many companies now are banning it. I was saying this the last few months that if you use a video tool that's too good to be true and you can download and everything is free, well, look what happened to it. They were stealing your data. They were selling it legitimately. This is a big organization. And on top of that, beyond that, so it's one thing when a company sells your data and they are legit. It's another thing when a malicious organization steals that data from that company and sells it on the dark web. There were about 500,000 accounts sold in the dark web, and that includes social security, credit card, address, email, everything. So we have to be very careful of every service, legitimate and illegitimate ones as well. And again, I go back to my same basic. If you use a secure connection, if you use a paid service that does have a certain level of security, that's already the first step. There's nothing for free. Anything that's free is going to be flawed.
That is so true, Alain. That is so true. And is there anything, I know that you and your team over at Globex are putting some things into place that really can protect us. I know you guys are working on a launch. Please tell us about that, Alain, and tell us how that's really going to help and protect not only consumers, but also businesses out there as well.
Absolutely. So we have 3 main services that we offer just for our listeners and watchers here. So we have Digital Safe, which is a virtual vault. It's a document management tool with a secure password manager and a secure email. Our email platform is called Custodia, and in the next couple of months, we're spinning off this particular email to sell it on its own. All our data is stored in Switzerland, so you have the highest privacy laws in the world protecting you. And we use proprietary technology, but we're unique in that when you store something in a database, each user's data is encrypted in a different way, where we have multiple disk encryption per user. So the analogy is that if we're all in a big room and there's 1,000 of us and we're being attacked by a virus, well, all the other platforms that you will be using that virus will affect all 1,000 of us. With our platform, our Globex Virtual Vaults technology, it doesn't affect everyone because each person is isolated from another. Imagine with several walls of protection. We call that the encrypted disk protection. And even if somebody would be attacked and a malicious machine would be able to go into the database of a particular user, it would not affect the other one. And that user's database is so highly encrypted and the keys in a whole other database that the machine would need about 5 million years to decrypt it. So they would give up the attack. So that's one thing that we do that really saves us from malicious theft of data. And what we do as well is when you'll hear a lot about encryption and PGP technology, open PGP. What we do is different. When you have a device and you go to your email or your chat or your digital safe, you essentially open a very secure pipeline to our secure servers in Switzerland. We use 2048-bit encryption for the transfer, and we have a couple layers of extra encryption on top of it that increases that power by 1,000. We call it our Helix technology. It's better than a VPN because it's a lot more secure, but it functions similar to a private network. So that's one way we protect. We're launching Custodia, our email service, very soon. We have our private talk service, which is voice, video, chat, and email, and our PTM, private talk messaging, which is a messaging and email application. It'll retail on our website, privatetalk.com, at $15 a month. Our website, digitalsafe.com, our followers can go there. They can even contact us. We can try to give them a discount to our retail price. So these are great services between email, document management, password management, and chat, because everybody uses chat, right? We all use instant messaging. So we have an amazing platform where we don't require, for example, your phone number. Most of these services require your phone number when you register. When you give your phone number away, your device ID is compromised already. And the other thing that we don't do, the thing is, why these softwares are very big and they get suddenly hundreds of millions of followers is because they go into your address book and now they have all your contact and they proliferate like that. So it's exponential. In terms of growth, it's amazing. But in terms of security, it's really bad because now hundreds of millions of people's data, phone numbers are potentially compromised, because if you have somebody's phone number, you can get to their device. So we use a very different approach. We do have a lot of consumers, especially in the US, that love our email service. We have a new feature launching with Custodia that will come next month, is a secure send and secure reply. And it's a way to send an email to anybody, whether they use our system or not, even if somebody uses another email account, to send an email securely and privately. So Paul, let's say you use a different internet provider or service provider for your email. I can send you a secure send email from my webmail. You would get a notification to click on a particular link. When you click on the link, you're in Switzerland in our encrypted servers. And you can protect this via password, how many times you can read it. You can have a time expiration. And the new thing that we're doing now is you, Paul, you can reply with secure reply without having to register to our system. That's huge.
Wow.
Because a lot of professionals are able to communicate with their clients without the client having to re-register, create a new password, which will not be secure because they probably don't use a password manager. So that's a big thing. We're launching in the Bahamas actually next month on the web. And we're working also with the central bank and our partner there to launch to businesses, probably sometime towards the end of the year. We have a couple launches in Canada. We have a US partner, Guard Street, that has work from home packages. We are part of that. And we have a big company that essentially is planning to integrate our service with our partner, Guard Street. This is a company that has, hundreds of thousands of users. They offer technical support, and Digital Safe will be part of that offering. So we're trying to offer highly encrypted and secure services to consumers and also to businesses of all sizes. And the good thing is that you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to download anything. Everything is remote.
I love it. I love it, Alain. And this really helps put a lot of us at ease, because let's face it, even post COVID-19, as we start to see restrictions lifted, there's still going to be a segment who still work from home more than working in offices. So this is really going to be really important for us. And one thing I wanted to chime in, have you chime in on too, Alain, we're starting to hear more about contact tracing when it comes to COVID-19 that helps stop the spread. And there are some security concerns about doing that. And in your expert opinion, Alain, what is the most effective way to do that we can help combat COVID-19 and other future pandemics or epidemics out there, but keeping our data safe and keeping our lives kind of private?
Well, there's security issues and most importantly, privacy issues. It's very alarming to know that, I know about these contact tracing. The companies that are launching it are telling people you can change your setting, your privacy setting. 99% of the people don't know how to do that and will never change it. I'm not so worried about the Big Brother aspect of it. I'm worried about the malicious hackers getting into those devices to steal all that data. Again, every time you have what I would call an open platform and a very socially engineered platform that can proliferate very easily, you have two issues. You have first the companies that launch it. How do they benefit? Well, we kind of know because they basically data mine your data and sell it every month. That could be a legal commercial operation. But what worries me more is the malicious elements in this industry that will go to these companies, steal that data, you see. So there's two very big issues. I don't have an answer to the solution. I don't think there's a solution. The minute you start social engineering people's devices and you access any kind of data and you store data on people's devices, you will have breaches. I said it, I think, a year ago. The next huge amount of breaches are going to be healthcare related, because when you have a healthcare record, you really have the person's full data, right? It's not just, you have financial information, you have social security, you have medical records. So that's a dangerous thing, in my opinion.
Well, Alain, thank you so much for giving us your take. I mean, you've been in the game a long time when it comes to cybersecurity. I mean, your credentials are impeccable, when it comes to this. So we definitely respect what you have to say on it. And something tells me that you're working on a solution you're just not telling us right now, because you and your team got it all locked down. So I'm waiting for another show later on this year where you will let us know the solution to the problem, because you're that kind of bright guy out there. So I know you're working on it, my friend. So how can people find out more information just about some of these great solutions for cybersecurity, keeping our data private? How can they find out more about some of the things that we talked about, Alain?
Thank you, Paul. So yes, we are working on some privacy solution. We always tweak that, and our company always innovates. We try to launch 1 or 2 products a year. So I would recommend somebody, first of all, we are a publicly traded company, both in the US and Canada. If I may, I can give you the ticker. So it's SWISF, so Swiss F on the OTC bulletin board. You can go to globexdatagroup.com. That's our corporate site. In Canada, we trade under ticker symbol SWIS with 1 S, SWIS. And the reason why I say that is that if you follow the ticker, you'll see our news. We have a ton of news usually that comes out about our development. So being a publicly traded company affords us the full transparency for everyone. What you see is what you get. So, and we're able to announce a lot of our progress. Go to globexdatagroup.com. If you want to look at Digital Safe itself, you can go to digitalsafe.com. And Private Talk, I think in about 3 weeks, the full payment platform will be up, privatetalk.com. But if you go to digitalsafe.com or globexdatagroup.com, I recommend you go and take a look. Feel free to ask us any question. There's an email form. You can email us directly. I'll be very happy to answer any question you may have.
Awesome. Alain Ghiai, always great catching up with you, my friend. Look forward to catching up with you next month because Alain's going to be doing some monthly segments about cybersecurity and privacy issues. Always great catching up with you, my friend, and please stay safe.
Thank you, you too, Paul, and everyone out there that's listening to us, stay safe and be very careful. Thank you.
Whoa, I'm telling you, my man Alain, he puts it down when it comes to cybersecurity, privacy issues, very knowledgeable, and glad that he's going to be joining us every month with some segments on how to keep ourselves safe in the digital world, and just some of the things that he's doing over at Globex and the digital safe. I'm a digital safe user myself, and I definitely co-sign on that innovation, and the privacy is truly awesome. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk about how this one CEO, faced with the collapse of her company during COVID-19, flipped the script on y'all, and she did something pretty amazing. We'll be right back here with more show on the Tech Zone.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.